I want you to tell me the story. You went to see Grant Cardone recently.
I went to see Grant Cardone, yeah.
And you invested quite heavily into your education and into yourself. So I would love for you to kind of talk about why you did that, why you felt like it was necessary, and what you think you're going to get back in return for that.
Yeah. So the short of it is that I want to grow and I want to do bigger things, but I feel that I was stuck and I didn't feel that I had the capabilities in order to get myself unstuck. And then I was thinking about what are the answers to my problems. And so there was a guy that I was following, Brandon Dawson, who's Grant Cardone's business partner. He came in to help experienced businesses scale. And I've been watching his content on YouTube and getting a better feel for him. And I wanted to go and I wasn't ready to invest. And I wanted to maybe go into an event that I could get a feel for things. And so I had a guy call me. They're down in Miami, so it's a 25-minute drive. Guy called me about a ticket to the event. As soon as he called me, I'm like, oh, I'm ready. Because I'm like, I'm ready. I was ready to buy. He told me he had a good price. He gave me the price. I even upgraded to VIP because I wanted to go all the way. So
hold on, Chris, real quick. I want to interrupt you because you're flying through this story. You've left out already a lot of details that you told me about how you were waiting for someone to call you. Yeah. You had to basically sell them.
So I didn't know. Yeah, I didn't know if you wanted the quick oatmeal or you wanted the full-blown oatmeal.
I want the full-blown. I want the full story.
All right. So I wanted to go to the boot camp. I've been wanting to go, but they had some bogus price on their website for like $6,500. And I'm like, I ain't going to buy the boot camp for $6,500. And I know they have sales and I've seen them before. So I was just waiting. I'm like waiting for the right time. And next thing you know, I get a call from somebody from Grant Cardone's office. And the minute he calls me, Gene was here. And I stop everything what I'm doing. I'm like, okay, here we go. I'm going to get he's going to offer me a deal. And he's like, hey, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, I offer you a ticket for like $997. And I'm like, sign me up. I'm done. So he's signing me up. And I'm like, wait a second. Don't you have a VIP option? And I had to ask him. He's like, oh, yeah, we got a VIP option. I said, what's that about? So then he told me about the VIP option. It was like $1,000 more. You get to sit at the front of the room and you get a chance to have lunch with Cardone. And I'm like, I'm there. That's what I want. And then Gene was with me and Gene looked a little disappointed. So I was like, I called Ron up a couple of days later and I'm like, look, I need another ticket. But I said to Gene, look, Gene, you ain't going VIP. You're just going with our common folk. But it's okay. You're there in the room. That's all that counts. So I went with Gene and we went together. And again, just trying to get a feel for things. And I was really, really impressed right off the bat with the whole organization. They have a packed room. I think it was about 500 people. Normally at that event, they said they get about 1,000 people at that event. And then the scale that they were operating in, he said that the previous day, he said, just to give you context, right now they're going to do about $150 million this year in selling digital products and courses. Think about that. Many times we go out there and we follow somebody that has, a good following online. They're doing, 2 or 3 or $4 million. These guys are doing 150. The day before I was there, they did 750 in one day. And I'm like, wow, these guys got their stuff together. Yeah. And then Grant was talking about, their culture. Like they train every day. If you're working, then you are required 30 minutes a day to train on Grant Cardone University. And every person I came in contact with in that organization was on point. Like as if you stayed at the Four Seasons and like every single person from the janitor all the way up, everybody is just you could tell these guys have their crap together. And that's what I felt like. And then Brandon spoke, and that's what really got me because he spoke about the thing that got me is that everybody talks about scaling, but he talked about really the mindset around scaling and the scaling in the sense that the way you scale, most businesses have an issue because they feel that they're the ones that are carrying that rock up the mountain and nobody is doing anything. And they're the ones that are doing everything. And he said the biggest issue with businesses growing is employee disengagement. And employee disengagement happens because the employees don't see that they can get to where they want to be inside of your company. So they're checked out. And he said that your role is to provide your employees, he calls it PPF, a personal, professional, and financial plan inside of your company so that they feel that they can achieve all of their goals inside of your company. And if they feel that way, then at that point, then they're going to carry the rock with you. And they're going to do most of the work because they're invested as much as you are. And he also says that struck me. He says, if your employees have money problems, if their car breaks down, they don't have money to repair it, if they can't take their kids to a good school, if they are late behind in their bills, he said that's not your employees' problem. That's your problem, because your business isn't providing enough of a financial vehicle and an opportunity for them to get to their goals. And so there's a disconnect. And so for me, that really resonated with me, because like a light bulb went on, and I'm like, yeah. And it also gave me like a better vision, because then I felt like, you know what, it's not just about me making a lot of money. It's about me helping the people around me, including my students and including my staff and everybody around me, to help them get to where they want to go. And if I can help them get to where they go, then at that point, then all my goals are accomplished. But at the same time, I felt like, now I feel an obligation, and I need to commit. I need to have a strong commitment that I'm willing to do whatever it takes in order to help them get there. Meaning that I'm not going to record a video only when I feel like it, or only when it's convenient. It's like, hey, I have to do whatever it takes for me to get them. So for me, when he said that, that really resonated with me. And then I went ahead and they had this meeting at the end of the day where you can go in and get more information about their Cardone Ventures or 10x 360. And it already came pre-sold. I think I came pre-sold wanting to do it, but really more, I needed that little bit of a push. And
so you say you came pre-sold. You already kind of knew in the back of your mind that these guys you thought, at least before you got to the event, and the event just confirmed it, but you thought these guys were the guys to help you get better at what it is that you're trying to accomplish. You already knew that, or at least felt that.
Yeah, I was looking for a place that I can get everything I needed in one place. That's really difficult to get, right? Because we can get a coach on high ticket, we get a coach on traffic, a coach on this and et cetera. And then in there at the event, I'm like, wow, I think that they could provide me with everything I need in order to be successful, from the digital aspect side to the scaling side to the social media and everything else. And to me, that's what I felt. And so being at the event confirmed that. And so I went to the event already kind of thinking that I wanted to do it, but maybe just being afraid of doing it, being afraid of making the wrong decision. And I ended up at that day on Friday, I invested quite a bit of money. I invested $40,000 that day. And wasn't an easy decision, because $40,000 doesn't grow in trees, right? And at least not in Miami. I don't know if they, in your neck of the woods, maybe they have the money trees out there, but not in Miami. So I did that investment, and I also signed up for a couple other, in that package. We're going in a couple of weeks. I'm flying in. One of my team members, Gene, is going. We're having an intensive with them for 2 days with Brandon Dawson, who's a guy that, had a company that he sold for $150 million. He netted $80 million. And I was kidding around with you. It's like, okay, I'm no longer following guys with Lamborghinis. I'm only following guys that own jets and have helicopters, right? And so I made that commitment. And then the next day, I'm like, out of the blue, we're walking in. Some guy says, "Oh, you're Cris Chico." And I'm like, okay, how do these guys know me? And then I look at Gene, I'm like, we're on a list right now, because they're like, hey, who's everybody that invested? And I'm like, we're Marks. Be careful. Keep your wallet. So they wanted to chat with us about Grant Cardone University. And we're like, hey, no problem, let's chat. And I knew coming in that it was a sales pitch, but I'm a buyer. I'm always looking to buy solutions to my problems and accelerate my learning and eliminate, shorten the curve. So what I ended up making another investment, and I made an investment in Cardone University. So I bought a 10-user license with them that I'm paying a hefty sum per month. And I made a commitment. It was almost like buying a car. I made a commitment for 36 months. And the Cardone University has training on sales, has training on customer service, has training on mindset, on personal, your finances, everything else. And even right now, we just recruited a new team member, and we told them, hey, one of the benefits you get by working with us is that we're tied into the organization. You get a license to Grant Cardone University. You're required to train every single day. Even me, I'm making a commitment to train every single day. So, that's a benefit. So now that's part of our benefit package of coming on board with us. And so I ended up buying also a couple other events, including, which I'm really excited about, is a headquarter day, where we get a chance one day as a small group. You go to Grant Cardone's office, you go and you are there for their team meetings, their daily huddle. You walk through, like, if you wanted to know what kind of toilet paper they buy, like, hey, we'll show you. We're going to go in and show you, every nook and cranny of this place. And so that was in total 36 and another 642. So overall, it's an $82,000 investment. There's some payments there involved, but still, nevertheless, it's a big commitment. And Grant Cardone says, with commitment comes creativity. And I think that part of the commitment, obviously there's the implementation of it, but I think the commitment also brings forth like a new, I feel, and Gene says this as well, like I feel like a new just excitement, and also feel like we're going all in. And in this group that we joined, I'm there with business owners that are doing 15, 20, 30, 40 million dollars. And I'm like, it elevates your game, because now you're like, you want to do better, you want to expand yourself. Yeah. And so for me, I think bottom line is that I feel that I'm in an environment that and also the other thing is this, and I also appreciated just everything about, like, it's not just business. Like if you look at Grant Cardone, you look at Brandon Dawson, almost everybody there is in fit. They take care of the health. Grant Cardone makes a comment and says, hey, if I'm around another female and they start flirting with me, I'm out of there. Why? Because I don't want to put my marriage in jeopardy. I don't want to put myself in a bad situation. So I think, 360, the whole overall, aspect of how they look at everything is something that I resonated with. And so I decided, you know what, I'm going to go all in. I feel that they can get me to where I want to be. They have all the capabilities in-house. And it's easy also too for me, because it's 25 minutes. I'm like, okay, just going to get in the car and go down there. So it's a big investment. I'm excited about it. And I feel like it's just giving me more vigor and a higher commitment for myself, but also more importantly, for everybody else around me. Because now I feel it's my duty and my responsibility to grow my opportunity as big as it needs to get, so that other people can achieve their opportunities. And in the end, I'll win because of that. But it's the people around me first, and then I'm second, but everything will work out.
So for me, the big takeaway here is, first of all, you're not afraid to invest in yourself. Right. You recognize that you had a clear hole in your operation. You recognize who you thought could help you fill that hole, and you weren't afraid to make that investment and take that leap. So I think that, we as coaches preach that kind of to our students a lot. Yeah. You got to invest in yourself, invest in masterminds, invest in getting better. But sometimes these coaches, they're not doing a lot of that. And you're kind of like putting your money literally where your mouth is and saying, look, we've got to invest in ourselves. And the second takeaway for me is, you invested in yourself in something that was relevant to where you currently are in your business. Because the Grant Cardone thing is not right for everybody. It's not the right fit for everybody. You analyzed and took the time to realize that this is what I need for me. Some people need Cris Chico. Some people need you. They're not on that level. They're on a certain level where they need what, and we're going to get into this in a little bit, but virtual wholesaling. And I need to learn how to become financially free. I know I want to quit my 9-to-5. I'm not ready for all of that stuff. I need Cris Chico stuff. Or I need Brian Tripp stuff. So I think those are my big takeaways. I don't like it when people, even networking, I'm a big networker, and I'm flashing these books. I'm a big, all these networking books that I read all day, every day. I think it is unfruitful for you to try to network. Like, I'll just take me for instance. I don't need Grant Cardone. I don't need to go network with him right now. He's 3 or 4 levels above me. I don't need that. I need the next level, or maybe 2. I need to stay kind of, and I think a lot of people kind of get caught up in that when they're networking, is like, they're like, help me get in touch with so-and-so. And I'm just like, why do you need to get in touch with them? Oh, I just think it would be cool. Yeah. That's not strategic, and that's not going to help you. You need to go to the next person up. So I think that that's true here. You went after exactly what you needed. And I think some people who might be watching this right now, you need to identify what it is that you need. And if you just need to quit your 9-to-5, you just need to quit your job, or you just want to make $5,000 a month, you need to find the person that can help you do that.
100%. And what you said is true about, I'm investing myself. So I feel I walked away with a better understanding, and not that I hadn't invested in myself before, because I even on top of this, I have other things that I'm invested in. I have another business coach. I'm involved with another mastermind. So this is just like the tip of the iceberg. There's a lot of other stuff I'm involved with. And then, when you have a student on the other side and they're at that level, at that point where they're just afraid to make a decision, it's like, I think when you invest in yourself, you can relate to that. You can relate to the uncertainty that you have inside of you about, is this going to work? Is this not going to work? I'm going to taking a chance. Is it going to pan out? And all those feelings that they're with a client. But at the same time, like you said, you're setting an example for them. I'm not asking you. Now I feel like, also I'm not asking the student to invest. And I've always felt this way. I'm not asking them to do something that I haven't done myself. I invest in myself. They don't need to invest at the level I need to invest. They just need to, like you said, invest at that level that they need next. But to me, and the other thing I walked away with was the fact that also valuing services, right? And I don't, just in general, like, valuing what we do as a coach and valuing that and having the right person that we're serving at that particular stage that they need, right? Because many times I don't want to force somebody to buy something that isn't right for them. Yeah. But I think also as a coach, you need to value what you do such that then you could be compensated appropriately, but that you can also offer the type of help that your client needs in order for them to be successful.